there is no evidence that the Sinn Fein family believe in freedom. I mean, it's not surprising that one of the most important of the persecutors who came after me was Roy Greenslade, the British journalist who is now known to have been an agent of the IRA. Now, he came after me on the Sunday evening. I believe that the IRA Army Council met on the Sunday afternoon and they authorized him to go after me. And he had a direct feed into the RTE newsroom. So essentially, RTE was doing the bidding, albeit unknowingly, of the IRA Army Council when they attacked me on Morning Ireland the next day. So this is a despotism in waiting. It's concealed, but there is no doubt whatever that Sinn Féin's policies are aligned with the despotic policies of the IRA. And when the two Sinn Féin leaders in Northern Ireland say, and the Republic, say that it's not about the Troubles, then why on earth do they religiously attend all the IRA ceremonies? Why do they say the IRA campaign was justified on all the atrocities for which Republican terrorists were responsible for 40% of the murders? 40% of all the Troubles killings were done by Republicans. But who under 40 knows that? Because the IRA Sinn Féin family knows the more often you repeat a lie, the more often it will be believed to an audience under 40 that doesn't read anything about the Troubles. They just know that there was something called the Civil Rights Movement led by the IRA, which was opposed by British-run Protestant paramilitaries, which killed most of the people, and then Gerry Adams and Martin McGuinness were in the end triumphant. All these lies have been baked into a cake of completely absurd untruth. The truth that serves as untruth that serves as truth. Now, this is the world we live in. The inversion of reality now becomes a fact in young people's minds. And they think Sinn Féin has the ability to build houses and create jobs and have low taxes for everybody. When I passed my economics degree in my first year in UCD, I passed by the lowest mark that has ever been recorded in the history of University College Dublin. But even I can understand that Sinn Féin cannot do what it promises to do. That's a simple statement of truth. And one of the things that we simply are refusing to accept is an issue that I wrote about 15 years ago, immigration. If you have a successful economy into which you have immigrants coming and you can't limit those immigrants because the European Union laws don't allow that, then there is no way you can build the schools and the hospitals and the roads and the infrastructure to cope with the numbers of immigrants when you don't even know what those numbers will be. That is a simple statement of truth. If you don't know how many people are going to be here in 10 years, how can you build schools for children who have not yet been born and whose parents at the moment are living in Czechoslovakia or in Poland or in Somalia? How can you do that? You can't. Now, have we had a discussion about that? Of course we haven't. That would be absurd to discuss something that is important. Let's discuss something that's really trivial and makes us feel good. And one of the most important things about Irish life over the last 20 years, and even longer, it goes back to the famine in Africa in the 1980s. So much of Irish policy and so much of Irish thought is based on emotional self-pleasuring. It's got nothing to do with the reality. The war in Ethiopia, which the fundraising was meant to end, actually was prolonged because we provided food to Ethiopia. Bob Geldof has admitted as much as this now. So when you give food to a country, is it because it makes you feel good, or is it because you want that country to benefit? Well, countries that don't receive aid probably benefit from more than those who don't, because they realize, their elites realize, they have to do the work. There's no alternative to hard work. The great turnaround in 1989 that came around because of Ray McSharry's budget was turned around by people realizing, Irish people realizing, that no, there is no alternative to work. You can't borrow your way out of debt. You have to get your taxes in order. You have to get your laws in order. You have to get the work enterprise and culture in order. And that happened. That's why we had one of the most successful economies by the 1990s, not merely in Western Europe, but in the world. But there is no substitute for hard work. And that's true for Africa. Giving money to Africa makes you feel good, but it doesn't achieve anything for Africa. In fact, it destroys Africa. In Kenya, the fishing industry has been completely destroyed by loans and gifts from the West. The Kenyans import food from Vietnam.
Just pushing it forward and looking out the front window of the vehicle for a second. When you look at the supine media, and you picking up your comments about that and the all-pervading, almost, as you say, the new secular Pope environment that we seem to be in. How can the public, how can the Irish people become informed or understand the nature of the environment they're in over the next? How is it possible?
Eddie, they can't. I keep on telling you. They've got people like you, and they've got me silenced. I mean, that would happen deliberately.